Another busy Labor Day weekend in San Diego as hundreds of thousands of people gather on our beaches. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Lifeguards had to make several rescues up and down our coast, but despite the crowds, as News 8's Shannon Handy reports, this Labor Day was a bit different compared to years past.
Jesse and Carlo, San Diego will always be a popular destination for Labor Day. Now, of course, we notice that the beaches are crowded, but not like what we've seen in the past. Still, lifeguards are keeping busy.
The crowds have definitely increased this weekend.
It's been all hands on deck for San Diego lifeguards as hundreds of thousands of people spent Labor Day weekend at our local beaches. Officials estimate the biggest crowds were in the southern part of our county, with a total of 250,000 visitors from Sunset Cliffs to Black's Beach in La Jolla.
We have our full summer staffing this weekend.
With the crowds come additional rescues. Lifeguards were especially busy pulling swimmers from strong rip currents. Lieutenant Brian Clark says they account for 80 to 90% of all rescues, most of which involve people from out of town.
We were at the hotel all day yesterday, so this is our first time actually going out.
Brianna Fuentes and her sister drove here from Las Vegas. Since the pandemic is still ongoing, they chose to wear masks on the beach as an extra precaution.
In Vegas, it's pretty open, life is kind of back to normal in a way, but still taking that precaution, you know what I mean?
Even though I'm vaxxed, still gotta protect other people and myself.
We spotted others doing the same. We spoke to one family from Alaska who said they came to San Diego instead of Hawaii, since Hawaii has more restrictions in place and has urged people to not visit because of a surge in cases there.
We just got here yesterday. We're leaving tomorrow to go to Arizona.
The CDC has advised those who are unvaccinated to not travel this weekend at all due to the Delta variant, though it's unclear if that made a difference here. While we did see businesses with a steady flow of customers and the parking lots near Belmont Park full by lunchtime, over on the bay we found several spots remaining even during the early afternoon hours, a rare sight compared to years past.
It's less crowded right now, for sure. Yeah, we thought it was going to be a mob scene, but right now it's pretty good.
It's a lot less people than I thought would be here, so I love it.
Now, aside from water rescues, lifeguards say they have been busy with cliff rescues, especially over at Black's Beach in La Jolla. They want to remind people that when you're hiking anywhere in the county, make sure you stay on the trails.
Thanks, Shannon. Sheriff's K-9 is out of the veterinary hospital today after being shot by a pursuit suspect.
That all started last night with a robbery and a chase from Lakeside to Riverside County. Detectives say the driver got off the 15 freeway in Murrieta. 3 people got out and ran away and tried to carjack another driver. The sheriff's dog, Caesar, tried to run them down, and one of them shot him in the leg. The department tweeted a picture of Caesar going into surgery, saying it's grateful for the care the pup got. Caesar is expected to make a full recovery, and the suspects are in jail.
Tonight, an investigation is underway into a fire at military housing that left 2 young children injured. Firefighters say a garage on Murray Ridge Road in Serra Mesa caught fire just before midnight last night. Employees at a nearby gas station rescued a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old from the structure, which was destroyed by flames. The boys were transported to UC San Diego Medical Center. One is in critical condition, the other is in stable condition. Firefighters believe this fire was an accident.
Dozens of people living in North County are back home tonight after a scare from the Aruba fire. The fire sparked just before 4 Sunday afternoon between Rainbow and Pala. The flames burned through 54 acres of brush and came dangerously close to some homes before firefighters stopped it. The fire did not hit any homes, and evacuation orders expired this morning. At last check, the flames are 30% contained. Nearly 20 years after the tragedies of September 11th, 2001, the country looks back at the risks first responders took to save lives during the search and rescue efforts.
One San Diego pastor was part of a national airline disaster response team at the time. News 8's Brian White talked with him about what it was like on the ground during the aftermath of 9/11.
That's right. When the Twin Towers fell 20 years ago, Pastor Mickey Stone-Ure was called to duty to serve on the ground as a chaplain during the search and recovery operations.
Very dynamic, lot of emotion, a lot of brokenness.
Pastor Mickey Stone-Ure remembers the raw emotion and trauma experienced by the families of the fallen during the aftermath of 9/11.
Despair, anger, frustration, all the mixed emotions.
In 1999, he was recruited to be a member of the NTSB's National Airline Disaster Response Team, which was comprised of about 100 chaplains and mental health professionals across the country. Pastor Stone-Ure happened to be on call for September of 2001, so he spent 2 weeks on the ground working with families and first responders at Ground Zero.
When a firefighter police officer was recovered and were lifted to where we were, and it was the whole site would stop at that moment, was completely silent, and at that point we were there to pray for the families.
Pastor Stone-Ure is now the lead chaplain for San Diego Fire Rescue, and he says firefighters and police serve our community with the same honor and passion he saw 20 years ago in New York City.
They respond to 9/11 events every shift. The magnitude isn't as big as the Twin Towers, but every home they go into, the rescues.
As he looks back 20 years later, Pastor Stone-Ure recalls the unity felt on the ground at the time, and he hopes we can capture that feeling again.
To go back to our first love, to where we love one another, our country, faith, family, friendships, take time to remember.
Brian White for News 8.
Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, begins at sundown this evening.
And for a second year, synagogues in San Diego are adapting to celebrating with COVID-19. At Congregation Bethel in La Jolla, you need proof of vaccination to go indoors, or you can also watch a service on a big screen under a tent outside or stream it online. Rosh Hashanah begins a 10-day period of introspection ending with Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement.